everybody, to Intensity Broadcasting. My name's Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League, Shoney's Racing League, Tuesday night racing series. I apologize, my screen going blank there for a second kind of messed me up. But this is the Shoney's Tuesday night racing series here with the Doghouse Racing League on iRacing from Richmond International Raceway for the Drake's Garage 100. Getting ready to get qualifying underway in just a couple moments. We see at the top of the leaderboard, Jonathan Jennings currently your fastest on track. Mike Hayes sits back in second. Chris Leftwich, Lucas and Edwards, and Andrew Lucas, your top five currently on the speed charts. As drivers just finishing up their practice here tonight. Richmond is a fun track, but a challenging track at that, especially off of turn number 2. It's really easy. Turns 2 and turn 4, really challenging spots here on this racetrack. You want to get a good launch off of turn 4 for the D-shaped front stretch. Down into turn number 1, you want to drive it in as deep as you can. Then as you come off of turn number 2, it's really easy to get out of shape as you come off the corner. So watch for turn 2 and turn 4 to be two troublesome spots here tonight for sure. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. See up at the top of the leaderboard, Jonathan Jennings, Justin McMahon sits back in second. Chris Leftwich, Andrew Lucas, and Steve Gerber, your top 5. Lucas Edwards, Jonathan Smith, Michael Hayes, Kevin Brown, and Baker Knapp round out your top 10. As we get ready to get qualifying just about underway. First of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or over on Kick, we do appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe, and hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, we can't get by without thanking our great sponsors, including Shoney's, Group 6, Simpson Design Shop, Fanatics, and of course our series sponsor, Shoney's, and our race sponsor here tonight, Drake's Garage. We all know Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday night racing series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Also, they have an affiliate. Doghouse Racing League has an affiliate partner with Fanatics. They earn commissions when you purchase through the link. They use these commissions to help fund the league. So down below, you can find the link for the Doghouse Racing League's website, which is doghouseracingle.com, for all your points, standings, and news here in the Doghouse Racing League, as well as the links to Fanatic and tonight's sponsor as well, which is Drake's Garage. Check out Drake's Garage on YouTube and Instagram. Drake's Garage does customization of welding, auto repair, building projects, custom fabrication, mini trucks, and more. You can check all that out over on YouTube and Instagram. As we got qualifying underway, we see Jonathan Jennings taking the green flag on his first of 2 laps. Bill Gentry out there on the racetrack as well. Christopher Simon just took the green flag. Gary Amillos, it looks like he's going to be the first one to come across the stripe. Mio is going to jump up to the top as Dumont jumped up to the top first before Jennings knocks everybody back to the second spot. And Mike Leftwich currently second quickest at the moment. Jennings making his way off of turn number 4, coming down to the stripe, see if he's able to improve on that time. And he does not. As Mark Dumont currently goes second fastest. Chris Simon back into 4th. Here comes Lucas Edwards across the stripe. And Edwards is going to move up into the 6th position. We see Justin McMahon coming down the backstretch and into turn number 3. McMahon comes off of turn 4 down to the stripe, and Justin McMahon's going to qualify 3rd quickest currently. See if that holds up for him. We see Jeffrey Engel down across the stripe, and Engel currently in the 12th quickest position as Kevin Powell moves Justin McMahon back to the 4th position. Here's Orlando Harrell coming down the backstretch on his white flag lap. And off of turn number 4, and Harrell going to currently be in the 17th position as we see, Mike Hayes get a little loose there down into the corner. He's on his white flag lap. Steve Gerber also out on the racetrack, as Hayes is going to jump up into the 11th position. Here comes Steve Gerber off of turn number 4. Gerber's going to go P2 on his lap, so he's going to bump everybody back a position. As John Smith currently goes 5th fastest. He drives down into turn number 1, hooking that yellow line. Nice solid entry off of turn number 2. Let's see if he has anything for Jonathan Jennings up at the top of the leaderboard. Smith makes his way off of turn number 4 down to the stripe. And Smith's going to go a little bit slower on his second lap, so he's going to currently be back in the 5th position. As we see the best times there on the scoring pylon. And about a minute, 15 seconds left in qualifying as Richard Leclerc comes off of turn number 4 down to the stripe, and Leclerc is going to better his position by 2, currently up into the 17th position, excuse me. Looks like 2 drivers left to qualify, Eddie Rivers and Kevin Brown. And only takes about 20 seconds to run around this track, so as long as there's about 40 seconds, they should be able to get 1 lap in. That being said, looks like time is expired for those which want to get out onto the racetrack. So that's going to do it for our qualifying session. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Of course, once again, our Doghouse Racing League Tuesday Night Racing Series is proud to be sponsored by Shoney's. Shoney's is open daily for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Stop by one of their West Virginia locations and try their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar and take home a whole strawberry pie. Shoney's, delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Of course, we also want to thank all of our great partners here, including Shoney's, Group 6, Simpson Race Design, Fanatics. Of course, Doghouse Racing League is an affiliate of Fanatics. Check out the link down below. Any proceeds help commission fund the league, so you can check all that out down below. Of course, our great partners here at Intensity Broadcasting as well, including Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. Visit raceepi.com. You can also check out our web store over at intensityracing.com, where you can find our apparel shop with some local racers from the Virginia area, as well as if you're looking to get race team clothing done as well, you can check out our web shop for a quote. Of course, our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Check out the link down below at thebuttkicker.com to figure out which one is right for you. As we get ready to take a look at our starting grid. And starting on pole here tonight is the 91 of Jonathan Jennings. Steve Gerber going to roll off from the 2nd position. Row 2 will find Andrew Lucas with Kevin Powell. Back in the 4th spot, Jonathan Smith and Justin McMahon roll out on row number 3. Hunter Simpson rolls off from the 7th spot with Chris Leftwich back in 8th. Mark Dumont from the 9th spot, and then Mike Leftwich is going to round out your top 10. Christopher Simon is going to start 11th with Gary Amio in the 7 back in the 12th spot. 13th will be Mike Hayes with Lucas Edwards back in the 14th position. 15th, Jeffrey Engel and Daniel Wilkerson back in 16th. 17, Richard Leclerc, Bill Gentry back in 18th. Then rounding out the rest of the field here tonight will be Stephen Bonomo, Orlando Harrell, Kevin Brown, and Eddie Rivers. The field just making their way around off of turn number 2. We're going to do 2 pace laps here tonight. Cloudy skies, cool temperatures. It's going to get darker as the race goes on. That's going to increase the grip level, and that's going to make the racing here even better. So watch the track to get racier and grippier as the night goes on. Jonathan Jennings loves these flat, short tracks. Watch for him to get out to an early lead here tonight. But there's some drivers out there who can run him down and give him some competition here. Drivers like Andrew Lucas, Justin McMahon, John Smith. He's shown some speed the last few weeks as well. So here we go. Pace car takes the hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. Jonathan Jennings leads him to the starting zone. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Richmond and down into turn number 1 for the first time. Jonathan Jennings out in front by, it looks like about car length and a half as they go side by side. For the second position, that is Andrew Lucas and Steve Gerber. Lucas, though, going to roll ahead and take over that second position. A little further back, John Smith battling side by side with Justin McMahon. Right behind, we see the 5 of Hunter Simpson to the inside of Chris Leftwich. A couple of drivers bounced off the wall loose. So contact in the back. Gary Armio got into the back of, it looked like Lucas Edwards. Just 3 wide for a second, but they got it straightened out. As the side-by-side battle continues between Chris Leftwich and John Smith, this is the battle for 6th. Ooh! Mark Dumont almost lost it there. He was sideways on the backstretch for a second. But we stay green currently. So no caution. He was able to hold on to it and keep it straight. Meanwhile, up front here, we see Justin McMahon getting really sideways off of turn number 2. So there we go. We were talking about that earlier. We're talking about turn 2 being a bit of a trouble spot, and we've seen it already a couple times here tonight. As Lucas Edwards able to get on by the 114 of Richard Leclerc. Steve Gerber has a mirror full of Kevin Powell as they go down into turn number 3. And Gerber's going to wash up the track a little bit. Kevin Powell in a different machine we're used to seeing, that bright green 93 Xbox machine. Not going to miss that car on the racetrack, that's for sure. And further back now, we see John Smith and Mike Hayes battling it out. This is for the 8th position. I'll see Christopher Simon right behind Mike Hayes trying to make his way into the mix. As Lucas Edwards has Mike Leftwich take a look down to the inside to get around that 76 machine. Move Leftwich up into the 11th position. Take a look off the back bumper of Steve Gerber. You see that 93 inching closer lap after lap. He is right there within a car length of the 8 of Steve Gerber. But further back, we see Daniel Wilkerson, Bill Gentry battling it out back here. 89 and Jeffrey Engel in the mix as Wilkerson washes up the track. And we almost have 3 wide for a second as the 421 of Orlando Harrell thought about making a move down underneath the 89 of Engel, but thought better of it. Now Wilkerson trying to run back down the 4 of Gentry as here comes Engel down to the inside, and Wilkerson looks like he's struggling out there right now. can't get that car down to the bottom of the racetrack. Looks like he's got damage on the right side of this machine. No, the car's clean, so I'm pretty sure maybe he does have a little bit of a scrape there on the right side there. Yeah, the car's clean, so it just looks like he's struggling for grip at the moment. Meanwhile, up front, we've got a battle between Mike Hayes and John Smith. This is a battle for the 8th position. Smith fighting off on the high side. Mike Hayes down on the low side. He's going to take that position. Hayes is as they make their way off of turn number 2. And ooh, gets really loose off of turn number 2. That's going to allow Smith to make a dive down to the inside into turn number 3. Not quite close enough to make that stick. So Mike Hayes able to stay out in front of John Smith for the moment. Well, not just did Kevin Powell catch Steve Gerber, but we've got a gaggle of cars right behind him. See Justin McMahon here in the mix, Chris Leftwich, Hunter Simpson. 5 cars under a blanket as they come off of turn number 2 and down the backstretch, single file. Man takes a look down to the inside. Here comes Kevin Powell with a look down to the inside of Gerber, but not able to make that stick. They're now working lap number 15 of 100. Well, 2 battles, one in front of McMahon, one behind, as Kevin Powell continues to try to find his way around Steve Gerber. Meanwhile, Hunter Simpson's worked down to the inside of Chris Leftwich. And now Gerber and Powell are side by side down into turn number 3. Powell almost able to clear the 8 of Gerber. Gerber's going to back out of it. That allows Justin McMahon to make a move down to the inside now, trying to take over that 4th position. Justin McMahon looking to have a good run here tonight. He's been bit with some bad luck the last couple of weeks. Strategies just not working out in his favor. Right now finds himself up in the 4th position as we see Hunter Simpson taking a look down to the inside of Steve Gerber right behind Justin McMahon. And ooh, we have an issue here as no caution, but Orlando Harrell having some issues, and looks like Engel did as well. Let's see if we can see what happened here to these two. They're side by side. This is replay. Ooh, hard contact with the outside wall, and man, they both went around. You see the 421 of Harrell goes around, but no caution. So we stay green. Looks like there was no cars behind. He was able to loop it around and get it going back forward, so no caution flag will fly. And we'll continue on here in the Drake's Garage 100. Of course, Drake's Garage is the race sponsor here tonight. You can check them out on YouTube and Instagram at Drake's Garage. Drake's Garage does customization, welding, auto repair, building projects, custom fabrication, mini trucks, and more. You can check again all that out on either YouTube or Instagram, whichever platform you prefer. Here's Steve Gerber all over the back bumper of Mike Hayes. This is a battle for 7th and 8th. Gerber, though, has to back out just a little bit. And meanwhile, just in front of this, we see Justin McMahon now making a look down to the inside of Kevin Powell, trying to put himself in a podium position. Coming up on the lap car of Steven Bonomo. Bonomo staying wide and out of the way, allowing the leaders to go right on by, which means Jonathan Jennings, who currently has just over a half-second lead over second place Andrew Lucas. And looks like they're going to be approaching some more lap traffic. Yeah, you see the lap traffic in front of the 91. That is the 15 of Eddie Rivers, who has quite a bit of damage on the front of that car from that incident that did not bring out a caution that involved Orlando Harrell and Jeffrey Engel. See Rivers staying down out of the way of the drivers. Meanwhile, more racing back here. You see John Smith working down underneath Bonomo. Trying to get a run here on Steve Gerber off of turn number 2. Christopher Simon right here in the mix as well. And we are a quarter of a way through our race. Don't forget to join us after this one's over, as the SCSRA Intensity Apparel Truck Series will be taking on Rockingham in the Ham 125. It's going to be their throwback event, so if you like truck racing, you like throwback events, and you like Rockingham, we've got the race for you right after this one's over. So don't forget to tune in for that one, which will go on about 9:30 Eastern Time here on Intensity Broadcasting. John Smith still trying to work down to the inside of Steve Gerber, trying to take that position. Here comes Christopher Simon trying to follow Smith through as well. Meanwhile, just in front of this, Kevin Powell and Hunter Simpson are battling it out for the 4th position. See Hunter down on the low side, Powell up on the high side. They make their way off of turn number 2. And right in front of Mike Hayes, who has a front row seat at this battle. Sun is starting to set here. Let's take a look at the track temperature as the race goes on. Right now, track temperature is about 86 degrees. Air temperature 81 degrees, so track's starting to cool off. Ooh, a little connection blip there for Hunter Simpson, so track should be starting to cool off a little bit more. Lights not quite on here yet, but I imagine we're going to start seeing those lights pop on in a few moments as the sun starts to go down and the track starts to get a little bit darker. Christopher Simon trying to take a look down underneath Steve Gerber. This is a battle for the 9th position. Ooh, big wiggle there out of John Smith. Came off the wall, went down to the inside. And what would normally be more of a protective, defensive kind of entry. While Jonathan Jennings still out in front, he's got a 1 second lead over second place Andrew Lucas, who's trying to work around the 4 of Bill Gentry. One driver on pit road, that's Eddie Rivers. Looks like he's trying to get some of that damage fixed up from that earlier incident. There's Christopher Simon and Steve Gerber battling it out for the 9th position. Justin McMahon now has Hunter Simpson right there on the back bumper, trying to take over that 3rd spot. If Simpson's going to take that position away. Justin McMahon looks like he's trying to cross him back over here, but that looks like Hunter Simpson's going to solidly hold on to that third position for now. As we see Mike Hayes coming off a turn at number 2. He was just completely sideways off the corner, able to hold on to it, though. He's currently in the 5th position, trying to run down Simpson and McMahon. While Jonathan Jennings coming up on some more lap traffic. Just in front, you see the 421 of Orlando Harrell right in front of him. And then Gary, that's a Mio right there. Nope, that's Jeffrey Engel right in front of Harrell there. Those two are battling for position as we take a look off the nose of Jonathan Jennings. Christopher Simon still trying to battle here with Steve Gerber. Ken Powell now has Chris Leftwich starting to run down that 93 machine. This is a battle for the 6th and 7th position. Ooh, Leftwich up into the wall hard. Like any damage to that 13th machine, but he just made pretty severe contact with that outside wall, and he keeps rolling. I say as we were quickly approaching the halfway mark. We've been green since the drop of the flag. More drivers making their way down on the pit road. Here comes Jeffrey Engel on the pit road. Looks like he's going to get some of his damage fixed up. Going to go another lap down here to the leader, Jonathan Jennings. There's just a few more races left here in the season. Next week we'll move on to Talladega Super Speedway for the Shoney's 111. As Justin McMahon works down underneath Gary Amio to put the 7-car lap down. So we have after this week, we have Talladega Super Speedway, Atlanta Motor Speedway, and that's going to round out our season. So just 2 more weeks of racing here in the Doghouse Racing League. Does anybody have anything for Jonathan Jennings to try to take the championship away from him? Andrew Lucas trying to stay as close to that 91 as he can. As you see Daniel Wilkerson making his way down pit road, and Wilkerson did have a little bit of damage to the right rear of that machine. You see that little scrape mark there on the fender. Looks like Wilkerson may have been up into the wall just a little bit. Gary Amio also coming down pit road. And part of me feels like these drivers are going to try to split this race in half. More drivers. As I say that, here comes Justin McMahon down on the pit road. Steve Gerber down on pit road as well. See Bunomo about to go another lap. Andrew Lucas now making his way to his pit stall. So that's second place coming down on the pit lane. And Jonathan Jennings stays out on the racetrack and continues to circulate. As green flag pit stops have just started here at Richmond Speedway. See Bill Gentry down on pit road, coming down to his pit stall, get his service done. Now the track looks like it's really going to start changing, as here comes Jonathan Jennings down on the pit road. That's going to give the lead of the race to Hunter. Oh, it's not going to give the lead of the race to Hunter Simpson. Simpson coming down pit road, so that's going to give the lead of the race to Mike Hayes. Right along on the board with Hayes here. See those lights just coming on. Sun is going down. Racetrack is about to start changing. As now Kevin Powell comes down to his pit stall. Lucas Edwards, as I mentioned, on pit road as well. Chris Leftwich down onto pit road, getting his service done. Here comes John Smith just hitting pit road as well. You see the speed difference as there goes the 77 right on by. Mike Hayes now out on the racetrack, losing a ton of time to Jonathan Jennings. Last time by, Hayes ran a 24:04. Jonathan Jennings ran a 22:57. So about 2.5 seconds. Ooh, see some smoke there on the bottom of the racetrack. Not sure what who that was. But we stay green for another, in the middle of these green flag pit cycles. I wonder if Mike Hayes, Christopher Simon, Mike Leftwich, all out here still on old tires, see if they're trying to catch a caution maybe. Andrew Lucas was able to get off pit road and in front of Jonathan Jennings, but now Jennings right there on the back bumper of the 77. Andrew Lucas doing a great job holding off Jonathan Jennings in the meantime, as we are quickly approaching just 25 laps to go. There's Lucas Edwards and John Smith battling it out as well. as they get around Jeffrey Engel. Ooh, see the 76 lock up that left front tire. Almost got up into Jeffrey Engel. Battle for what will be the lead as Jonathan Jennings has gotten down to the inside of Andrew Lucas. Lucas trying to fight hard up on that high side. But Jennings too strong on the low side. He's going to retake what will be the lead. Meanwhile, Mike Hayes stays out on the racetrack. Really not too sure how far Mike Hayes is trying to push this run here. See cars with newer tires driving by. We just saw the 117 of Richard Leclerc go by. Here comes Orlando Harrell, who was caught up in that early incident. Chris Leftwich coming by to unlap himself. That is 9th place. But 3 cars still on the racetrack who have not pit. Mike Hayes, Christopher Simon currently sitting in 2nd, and Mike Leftwich back in 3rd. And then it's 5 seconds back to Jonathan Jennings, who's trying to work around Daniel Wilkerson. Justin McMahon on the back bumper of Hunter Simpson. This is a battle for what will be, well, what is 6th place on the track now. As Mike Hayes continues to stay out on the racetrack, and I imagine he is pretty much out of fuel at this point. I imagine only has a few laps left in the tank. While that's going on, Christopher Simon has eaten into that lead. So Jonathan Jennings now just 1.5 seconds behind Mike Leftwich, and coming in a hurry. Again, Leftwich, Christopher Simon, and Mike Hayes yet to pit as we are quickly approaching 25 laps to go. You see the 22 push way up the track there. I think that right front tire on that 22 is pretty much given up, as Mike Leftwich makes his way down on the pit road. So I imagine we should see Hayes and Simon momentarily. And I think, yeah, here comes Hayes down on the pit road. He's going to give the lead of the race to Christopher Simon, who's going to stay out and gather a bonus point. Now it's just 1.5 seconds from Christopher Simon back to what is now 2nd place Jonathan Jennings. And Jennings coming in a hurry, as now Simon's going to dip down on the pit road and give the race lead back to Jonathan Jennings. Andrew Lucas sits back in 2nd. He's about 1 second now behind Jennings. And Hunter Simpson working underneath Kevin Brown currently in the third spot with Justin McMahon a second back in fourth. And then Kevin Powell round out your top five. Issues for Jeffrey Engel. He's looped it around on the backstretch. He is down off the racing surface though. So no caution is going to come out as Engel is stranded there down on the inside waiting for traffic to roll by. And this might bring out a yellow. It does bring out a yellow. And this is going to change everything here in this race. Our first yellow for incident involved Jeffrey Engel. Let's use our wreckage rewind here to see what happened to Engel coming off of turn number 2. Right there behind Justin McMahon, and just loses it off of turn 2. So easy to do hard contact with that inside wall. Waits for a spot to pull back onto the racetrack, but as soon as that car crossed over that yellow line sideways, it immediately triggered the caution. And that's going to bring, it looks like, the entire field down on the pit road. A couple drivers do stay out. John Smith stays out. Lucas Edwards is going to stay out. Looks like Daniel Wilkerson's going to stay out as well. Kevin Brown. And this is a huge break for Mike Hayes and Christopher Simon, who are out there on fresher tires and able to stay. Well, they are currently on the lead lap. Well, here comes John Smith, Lucas Edwards on pit road. So Jonathan Jennings is going to retake the lead here. So your running order here after this yellow flag pit stop: Jonathan Jennings will be your leader. Andrew Lucas will restart in the second spot. Hunter Simpson back in third. Justin McMahon in fourth. And Kevin Powell will restart fifth. Chris Leftwich will be back in the sixth position. And we'll see where everybody else is going to be coming off of pit road. Looks like John Smith is going to restart seventh. Lucas Edwards going to restart in eighth. Daniel Wilkerson back in ninth. You see Orlando Harrell, he is one lap down. So we will have 12 cars on the lead lap. When we go back green flag racing. See Mike Leftwich out in front. He is going to take the wave around. A couple drivers getting the wave around to get back onto the lead lap. So we're going to re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to refire them here at Richmond Raceway. Green flag is in the air. We are back racing with just 19 laps to go. Great jump for Jonathan Jennings as Andrew Lucas works to the high side around Hunter Simpson, gets down into the second position. He's going to try to chase Jonathan Jennings. Ooh, one really loose back there. That was Chris Leftwich. Sideways off of turn number 2, able to gather it up on cold tires. And we stay green as Andrew Lucas trying to do everything he can to run down Jonathan Jennings in this short run. Mike Hayes, Mike Leftwich side by side. This is a battle for the 11th position. Ooh, as they make contact off of turn number 2. Down into turn number 3, Hayes is going to take that position. He's going to get around Steve Gerber as well. Meanwhile, Justin McMahon trying to run down Hunter Simpson. Right behind, we see Kevin Powell and Chris Leftwich duking it out. John Smith right there in the mix as well. Last time by, Jonathan Jennings and Andrew Lucas ran identical times as they went across the stripe. See just how close those times are between these two. Now Lucas right there on the back bumper of Jonathan Jennings. He can get into the corner so much better than Jennings can, but Jennings rolls that center off so much better than Andrew does. As we have now 14 laps to go, and caution is out on the racetrack. And looks like it's for Richard Leclerc. Yeah, Richard Leclerc's looped it here off of turn number 4. That's going to bring up our second incident of the night. As we bring up our wreckage rewind to see what happened to the 117 of Leclerc. Actually, didn't really, wasn't all Leclerc in this one. We take a look here, down into the corner, we see Steven Bonomo almost run into the back of Kevin Brown. And Bonomo gets completely sideways. It looks like he's about to save it. And Leclerc tries to avoid him, comes up the track into Orlando Harrell. Harrell able to keep it off the wall. Unfortunately, doesn't look like Leclerc is going to be able to keep his car off the wall as he goes, loops it down. So that's going to bring out our caution. We'll have about 10 laps to go. A couple drivers do make their way down onto pit road. We see Mike Leftwich down on pit road. Mike Hayes on pit road as well. Steve Gerber down on pit road. And with a, looks like it's going to be about a 10-lap shootout. They're going to see if they can make those tires work here in the final few laps. Lights on the pace car are off. Nope, I take that back. Lights on the pace car are still on. We're going to go at least one more lap before we go green flag racing. Of course, I want to thank all of our great partners here in the Doghouse Racing League, including Shoney's, your series sponsor. Check out your local West Virginia Shoney's location. Check out their freshly prepared legendary breakfast bar. Take home a whole strawberry pie over at Shoney's. Delicious food and friendly service since 1947. Of course, all of our great partners, including Shoney's, Group 6, Simpson's Design Shop, and Fanatics. Of course, the Doghouse Racing League is an affiliate of Fanatics. They earn commissions when they purchase through the link down below. These commissions help fund the league, so you can check that out down at the link below. Of course, also, you can check out your race sponsor here tonight, which is Drake's Garage on YouTube and Instagram. Drake's Garage does customization, welding, auto repair, building projects, custom fabrication, mini trucks, and more. So you can check that all out on YouTube and Instagram at Drake's Garage. Of course, we want to thank our great partners here as well, including Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching and setup needs. Visit raceepi.com for all your racing apparel needs. Check out intensityracing.com. Of course, we have Ali Atman Weiss's racing gear there as well, where he had a great race this past weekend at Langley. Came home second in the Pro 6 late models, and then came home in ninth with a clean car in the limited late model series. So you can check all that out over at intensityracing.com. And of course, our great partner over at Butt Kicker for all your gaming haptic needs, both racing, sim flight, and more. Check out thebuttkicker.com. When we take the green flag, we'll have just 8 laps to go. As the pace car takes the hard left-hand turn down on the pit road, and Jonathan Jennings approaches the Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing as Andrew Lucas and Hunter Simpson almost made contact down the front stretch. Lucas able to get around Simpson and takes over that second position. And we're going to try one more shot here at Jonathan Jennings as they come down the backstretch. Justin McMahon to the outside of Hunter Simpson, trying to take over that final podium spot as they come off of turn number 4. But here comes Simpson firing back on the inside, just 7 laps to go. Simpson rockets down into turn at number 1. Justin McMahon trying to roll that high side a little bit better. Gets some momentum. They make a little contact. It looked like a little net code there between the 5 and the 24. They continue on. It looks like McMahon's going to be able to get out in front as 5. There's a little bit of a connection issue there, so that's going to put Justin McMahon now up into the 5th position. Just behind us, we see Chris Leftwich now trying to make something happen. And John Smith looking down to the inside of Kevin Powell, trying to take over the 6th position as we come into 5 laps to go. Up at the front, Jonathan Jennings now 0.3 of a second over Andrew Lucas. Andrew Lucas, yes, with Justin McMahon in tow, trying to catch up to the 77. Meanwhile, we see Daniel Wilkerson getting passed here by Mike Leftwich, who's on fresher tires. So Leftwich trying to make hay while the sun shines on a little bit fresher tires than the rest of the field. Kevin Powell under attack from the 99 of John Smith. And McMahon has Hunter Simpson right there on the back bumper. This is the battle for the final podium spot as Chris Leftwich gets really loose off of turn number 4. That's going to allow Mike Hayes to dive down underneath. Hayes on fresher tires, and you're seeing these fresher tires come into play here as we have just 3 laps to go. Can Hayes do anything with them in these final 3 laps? Hayes around Chris Leftwich down into turn number 4. Leftwich trying to fight back on the high side, not able to. That's going to move Hayes up into the 5th position. Now he's going to set his sights on Hunter Simpson, who's still right there in the tire marks of Justin McMahon. So they come rocketing down the backstretch. Jonathan Jennings comes down into turn number 4, trying to get to the white flag here. White flag is in the air. 1 lap to go. Yellow flag has been put away in favor of the checker flag as Jonathan Jennings dives down into turn number 1. Down the backstretch they come for the final time. Mike Hayes trying to take over that 4th position, but as they come down across the stripe, it's going to be Jonathan Jennings with the win. Andrew Lucas going to come home 2nd. Justin McMahon on the podium in 3rd. Hunter Simpson comes home 4th. And Mike Hayes rounds out your top 5 here tonight at Richmond. Jonathan Jennings comes down on the front stretch. He's going to celebrate his 7th win of the season here in the Drake's Garage 100. typical Jonathan Jennings fashion. He's going to burn it down the front stretch. Around the 60 of Mike Leftwich to see how far he can get down the front stretch before the motor blows here. That was an impressive burnout for sure. Let's take a look at the final standings. See, Jonathan Jennings getting the win. Andrew Lucas comes home in second. Justin McMahon back in third. Hunter Simpson fourth. Mike Hayes in fifth. Chris Leftwich rebounds for a sixth place position. Kevin Powell, John Smith, Lucas Edwards, and Christopher Simon round out your top 10. Mike Leftwich back in 11th. Daniel Wilkerson comes home 12th. Gary Amio back in 13th. Steve Gerber and Kevin Brown round out your top 15. 16th was Bill Gentry. 17th was Stephen Bunomo. Richard Leclerc back in 18th. Orlando Harrell, after being involved in that early incident, 19th, along with Eddie Rivers, Jeffrey Engel, and Mark Dumont round out your field here tonight at Richmond as we get ready to talk to our top three. Starting with our third place finisher here tonight, Justin McMahon. Hey, Justin, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, congratulations on the podium here tonight. A hard-fought one for sure. No strategies kind of bitten you the last few races, but able to get here on the podium here tonight. Talk through your race and how your strategy played out for you there at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that caution definitely kind of helped me out there. At the end, I was kind of debating on taking two tires again. Or not again, but taking two tires there to try to gain a couple spots, but I think we had too many laps left. I didn't think it was going to really help much. So I figured I might as well just take all four there and just try to take my medicine and see how it goes. But I don't know. It was the first run was probably the most crucial, just because we were green for so long. Really needed to preserve your tires and let the car just come to you in the end there. But luckily it worked out. I was able to leapfrog a couple guys there during that first green flag pit stop by pitting a little bit earlier than them. I wanted to at least try to get to lap 50, but I was losing too much ground, so I figured I'd hit a little bit early there. But yeah, all in all, it was pretty good. I'm happy with it. That last caution, I know a couple of guys didn't want to see that were up front. I think Hunter and Jonathan didn't really want to see that, but it helped for me, and I was able to motor on and race Hunter there pretty hard for third. So I'm happy with how we finished tonight.
Yeah, the strategy tonight seemed to be all over the place. We had those 3 or 4 drivers that stayed out, I believe, until about lap 65, 70. Did that surprise you to see those guys trying to stretch that as far as they did? And did that concern you in case the caution did come out? Is it going to trap you guys down a bit?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what their goal was to, once they saw us pit early, I think they're planning on just to run it out as long as they could and hope that they ran enough laps to where if the caution did come out, they're going to trap us a lap down and they were going to be able to have fresher tires than us. Well, at least be on the same, they're going to have a spare set of tires, I guess, more or less. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. I mean, you got to do something when you're back, right? You got to try to do something to try to offset it to gain yourself as many positions as you can. So if I was in their shoes, I don't think I would have done anything different. I would have done the same thing. I think outside the top 10 or top 8 was probably the way to do that. I know Michael Hayes was on a rail. Well, he was coming pretty quick. Unfortunately for them, I mean, that's part of it. You gamble, right? So unfortunately for them, it didn't work out, but we got lucky because I think if the caution had come out, I know pit road was pretty sketchy. I think a couple guys were in their single cars and they were able to stay off the racing surface, so the caution didn't come out. So I mean, I think if some of those did come back up on and the caution did come out, it definitely would have benefited them a lot more than us for sure. So it's part of it, I guess, right?
Absolutely, especially here at Short Track Racing. Well, again, Justin, Congratulations on the podium. Before we let you go, first off, how do you like your chances at Talladega next week?
About as good as I do going to Vegas gambling, I guess.
I
Roll the
know
dice and
Jonathan
hope for the
Jennings is
best.
going to say the same thing. So
Yeah, we're gonna go for it. No point in hanging back because you could get involved in a wreck back there too. So
that's
we'll
true.
try to be up front and see if we can bring the Group 6 Chevy back home for a win, hopefully again.
Awesome, man. Well, before we let you go, anything you want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, Group 6 for the sponsor on the car. Shoney's for sponsoring the league, and Daniel for putting on the league, and you guys for doing the broadcast.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the podium. Good luck next week at Talladega. Hopefully you survive, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Have a great night. So that was Justin McMahon, your third place finisher. I don't see Andrew Lucas here in the waiting room, so we'll bring in your winner here tonight. Driver of the 91 machine, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir, I got you.
Man, what a run there up front. You had some competition there in the form of Andrew Lucas there at the end, and I know you did not want those late race cautions. Talk us through those last couple restarts, having Lucas right there with you, who seemed to be really, really quick on the short run.
Yeah, I did not really want to see a caution, to be honest, especially that last one. Or the one that, the first one, I should say. Yeah, I knew he was quick on the short run, and I had to kind of change my line there to kind of protect him from getting a nose underneath me.
Well, you did a great job keeping him out from behind you. And yeah, I posed the same question I asked McMahon. I know strategy seemed to be all over the place here tonight. You had a couple drivers who really, really stretched that long run. I know you're running them down, but I know in the back of your mind you must have been concerned that the caution might have came out and trapped you a little bit further down. Did that catch you off guard a little bit, those guys that ran it as long as they did?
No, not really. I expected a few to do it. It's kind of normal. 3 or 4 guys will stay out and hope for a caution. And normally, I would stay out longer, but I don't know. Richmond tends to go green mostly, so if this was like Martinsville or somewhere like that, I'd just wait.
Well, able to get the win here tonight, and I know next week's going to be a bit of a crapshoot for you as we move on to Talladega. So I want to wish you luck at the big super speedway. I know it's not your favorite form of racing, but hopefully you can get it done and pretty much lock up the championship here this season. But before we let you go, Jonathan, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast. Daniel for everything he does each and every week to put these things together, and everybody that practices with me and helps out those guys, and all the sponsors, Shoney's, Group 6, Simpson Design Shop, and Fanatic, and the garage. Can't get. There's too many. What's the name of that? Yeah, there we go. Drake's Garage.
I was muted; they couldn't even hear me for that. So yeah, congratulations on the win and that impressive burnout down the front stretch. I love watching you do that each and every week. And good luck next week at Talladega. Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too.
So there you have it. Your winner here tonight, Jonathan Jennings, getting win number 7 on the season. Of course, as I mentioned, we have just a couple races left here in the Doghouse Racing League. We'll move on to Talladega next week. And then we'll round out the season the following week at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old configuration, so not the Super Speedway version. So that's going to be a great race as well. So we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Kick. We do appreciate you joining us here tonight, or if you're watching this on tape delay, we do appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, subscribe. It really does help us out, and make sure that we can continue to bring great broadcasts to you each and every week. Check out our great partners down below as well, including Shoney's, your series sponsor, Drake's Garage at YouTube and Instagram at Drake's Garage. Don't forget to check out our great partners as well, including Race EPI for all your iRacing coaching setup needs, the Butt Kicker for your gaming haptics, and our apparel shop over at IntensityRacing.com. You can also check out the links for Fanatics down below as well, which will help out the Doghouse Racing League. And of course, don't forget to check out their website at doghouseracingle.com for points, standings, news, schedules. It's all right there. So you can check all that out at doghouseracingle.com. That's going to do it for us here tonight in our first race. Don't forget to join us for some more short track racing as the SCSRA Truck Series has their throwback event tonight from Rockingham. So you're not going to want to miss that one as well. So that's going to do it for us here tonight in the Doghouse Racing League. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, subscribe, and as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over